Our scripture reading is found from Isaiah chapter number 58, beginning with verse 1. Shout out, do not hold back. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Announce to my people their rebellion, to the house of Jacob their sins. Yet day after day they seek me and delight to know my ways, as if they were a nation that practiced righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of their God. They ask of me righteous judgments. They delight to draw near to God. Why do we fast, but you do not see? Why humble ourselves, but you do not notice? Look, you serve your own interest on your fast day and oppress all your workers. Look, you fast only to quarrel and to fight and to strike with a wicked fist. Such fasting as you do today will not make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose? A day to humble oneself? It is to bow down the head like a bulrush and to lie in sackcloth and ashes? Will you call this a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke. Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and to bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover them and not to hide yourself from your own kin. May God bless the reading and the hearing of this word, and may we be blessed through it on this day. I will suggest and will abide by my own suggestion that any Ash Wednesday meditation should be short. There's no reason to dress it up. Doesn't need a lot of bells and whistles. I once began an Ash Wednesday service with the solemn 6-word announcement, we're all going to die. For the sake of effect, I paused. There's something about my personality which sometimes requires me to make an extra effort to let people know that I'm being serious. See? And so I took that extra effort and said again, we're all going to die. The fact is, that is essentially at least the preface of the message of Ash Wednesday. There are more pastoral and less blunt ways of framing it, but those 6 words capture. The misconception, however, which we sometimes stumble upon, is what it is meant to induce in us. Believe it or not, this may be one of the least morbid services in all of the church calendar. Meant not to drive us into despair or depression or to be immobilized by sadness, but instead it is meant to energize us, to give us spiritual and emotional energy to live our lives well. The declaration of our mortality really isn't so much an announcement as it is meant to be a reminder. But not just a reminder, it's a reminder to be busy with the real business of life. The movie Shawshank Redemption is one of my all-time favorites. It revolves around the unlikely friendship of Andy Dufresne, a white man who was accused, in his case unfairly, of murdering his wife and her lover. And his friendship was with Red, a black man also imprisoned for murder, a murder that he had committed as a teenager. Andy is new to prison life, but for Red, decades have passed. Opportunities for parole have come and they have gone. He's older now, he's wiser, and he's softer, but he describes himself as an institutional man. He has accepted the bars of prison as his home. He tells Andy to be careful about hoping Hoping is a dangerous thing, he said, a thing which will lead only to disappointment, and one is better off not to mess with it. Andy both loves and he respects Red, so he gives his word consideration, but in the end he decides that hope is a thing to which he must cling in order to live. These are his words to Red. Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. In another scene, when Andy has experienced some harsh reminders that those bars are an effective means of keeping him separated from the life that he wants, he tells Red with great earnestness. It comes down to a simple choice, really, to get busy living or to get busy dying. This service isn't so much an effort to instill resignation in the hearts of its participants as it is a gentle, or maybe not so gentle reminder, depending on what our souls need, that the simple choice of living is always before us. As we move into Lent, perhaps we will be giving something up. Chocolate, alcohol, red meat, swearing. They're all familiar candidates for such vows. And if some form of austerity, of giving up something, is beneficial to you, then good. But I will send you away with some different questions in mind, and I will offer a little silence after each question, so you have a few moments or seconds, really, to begin your consideration of that. What has been left undone, which needs now to be done? What has been left unsaid, which now needs to be said? What phone call is waiting to be made? What has been left unforgiven and has created a weight now too heavy to bear any longer and needs now to be forgiven, whether it means to forgive another or to let yourself off the hook. Finally, and this is the most important one of all, what act of gratuitous love is waiting to be done? Where is the water we need to dive in and to get busy with the business of living? Did we begin this service with a slightly hokey country song? We did. But hopefully it simply served to remind us that you and I are dust. And to dust we shall return.